Howdy, howdy. Good evening. Oh my God, March the 11th. Holy smoke a Rooney. This year is just tearing away. And I was actually on a call with Shelley this afternoon, and we were just talking about like the post effects of celebration and like people getting hit with like celebration flu. It's like when you do Tony Robbins for Jules and Rory who are doing that this year, you get Tony flu, or you just have a massive event. And I was like, oh, I didn't get anything. I feel amazing. I'm just in action mode. And like today, after a massive event on Saturday, I am just whacked. So I'm going to try my very best to be as coherent and making sense as possible. But like my throat is on razor blades and I am just a sweaty mess. So this is on and off. So I think I'm coming down with a little post-celebration, month post-celebration, something or other. But I can never not show up for you guys, because you always show up for yourselves on this call. So a couple of really epic touch points, something that is launching in Australia and New Zealand tomorrow, which I know is not going to be far off the UK from launching as well. I have my fingers crossed it's going to be for Celebration Soph. I don't know that for sure, but fingers freaking crossed, because tomorrow at 8 a.m. Sydney time, which is 10 a.m. here, that social media platform for Isagenix is open. So from 8 a.m. tomorrow Sydney time, you can log into your back office, and under resources or something like that, you can click on this new social media tab. And so, Donna, I'll explain this for you, and for anyone else who's watching the recording that isn't too sure about what this is. Foxy did a talk on it at Celebration, and I'd see if I can find the video online, we'll get it up in the Ignite page. Isagenix have linked arms with a social media expert company who have put together hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos, fonts, text writing. So where we used to have word swag, layout, all these things, Pinterest to get all our pictures from, Isagenix have put it all into one social media site, which I think might come in as an app. I don't know. I know we can get it through the back office. Not too sure how we get access to it, but basically it's a one-stop shop. We pay $13 a month, or $13.99 a month, and you have unlimited access to all photos. Everything's copywritten and free for everyone to use. You can create, your recognition posters, your event flyers, your top enroller, your top cyclers, like everything. If you just want to recognize somebody, it doesn't have Isagenix branded on it. You can make it look however you want, but it's an opportunity to ditch getting lost and spending hours making these flyers and which app and which site do I go to. It's all in one central spot. There's going to be loads of example posts and features already there. So it's literally making our lives even easier, which is what we're all about, right? When we've already, all we want to do is be connecting and enrolling and sponsoring. So keep your eyes out for that tomorrow, ANZ crew. And Soph, I cannot wait to hear if this gets launched in the UK, which I'm, like I said, massive fingers crossed. It will definitely come to the UK, because basically all it is an online platform. So, I can only assume that surely, like, it's not like trying to get new products in the country. So yes, keep your eye out for that tomorrow, team. On Thursday, there is going to be a online training. It is something like 11 o'clock New Zealand time, so I know most people are working. However, it will be recorded, so you can keep your eye open for that as well. There'll be a full feature training of how to get around and all that kind of thing. So share that with your crew, share that with everybody. I am absolutely amped and have been looking out for it since Celebration. I didn't know it wasn't going to be straight out. So yes, that was first thing I want to share. Second thing I wanted to share as a reminder, that for the month of March only is where we can still get Celebration tickets at $129 for next year. If you haven't already, all of our tickets that we bought at Celebration just got loaded up in the back office. So like, we're stoked. We've got like a massive wad of our tickets now in the back office for Celebration. So if you want a really
15 tickets.
Oh yeah, Steve just won it. It's 15 tickets. We want 15. We're like, let's do this. Next year, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and there are people that cannot miss out on this next year. And when tickets are $100 a ticket, that's just, yeah, you got to steal that kind of stuff. So they're the two things I wanted to remind you of. So let's get stuck into what was hot on my heart and on this new team posting schedule. Tonight, I really wanted us to focus on intentionality and the next step of action that you're going to commit to this week. So this is going to be like full participation in the group chat. So have your typing fingers at the ready, get your brains on, warm it up, get it all flowing in there, and get ready to literally just go full in. This is a full engagement call. And so if you are watching the recording, play full out, write notes down for yourself, do the action. When we take pauses to take action, don't just like fast forward it. If you've given yourself the hour to watch this back, and you guys have given yourselves the hour to nut into this call, like we're not just, Steve and I don't want to just sit here talking at you all every week for an hour. You know, we want this to be your hour of impact. So what I want to do is, first off, to kick this off, and just, I want you to open up your chat box or throw up your hand or whatever you feel called to do. First of all, who here wants to see their Isagenix team, your personal team, grow? Yeah, nods, double hands, the works, love it. Just so I know I'm talking to the right crew and that I'm focusing on the right thing here, right? I just need to know that what I'm delivering is what you're needing and what you're wanting, right? Okay, second question. Who here gets empowered by making an impact? Love it. Woo! Love that. Right crew, right crew. And finally, the third question. Who here wants to make more money? Sophie's cat's even getting in there. All of us up in here. Okay, right. So that is what we're going to focus on tonight. We're actually going to focus on getting freaking enrollments, personal enrollments. We're not talking about rank advancing people in your team. We're talking about you having personal enrollments. This is about you personally sponsoring and your next 10 people. Because what every single one of us that is sitting on this call, and what I know for fact that every single other person who is watching the recording, what every single person needs right now is at least 10 new enrollments. And we want to get that fired up for when we hit, sorry, Mia's crying, for when we hit our month of impact of April. And anyone that wants to enroll before that is all in, okay? So what I really want to focus on tonight's call is, how do we go about getting more enrollments through the door quicker, who are going to stick around and who are ready to take massive action on their lives? No one that we're going to have to drag uphill. So I've chucked myself into some new ways of learning in the last 5 days, which have been very testing. Mia's seen a cat in the garden. Sorry about that. She loses it. So I've had a very testing few days, relearning a lot of skills. And so I'm not going to go into the whole depth of teaching all of that right now, because I want to just get my head around it a little bit more before I start to deliver that and share a little bit more around that with you guys. But what I want you to really start thinking about, and get ready on your pen and paper for this bit, what are you currently doing to grow your team, to make an impact, and to make more money? What is it that you are currently doing every time between each call? Just write down on your own personal notepad, what is it that you're currently doing between each week that you are, where you are moving further towards those things that you throwing your shapes around about wanting? What is it that you are currently doing? Is one of those things on your list that you're having daily chats? Daily chats. Is it daily chats? Are you getting in there? You're having a new chat every single day. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, whatever your number is that you've set. Are you having that every single day? Number 2, are you plugging into daily goodness? And what I mean by that is, what are you doing to grow and stretch yourself a little bit more? I'm not talking about dramatic, something massive every day, but what are you doing just a little bit of each day? It might just be that you get a 5-minute breathing exercise in each morning. Yeah, your brain food, Laura, that's right. Like, is there a podcast that you listen to as you're driving somewhere that's just on in your car as soon as you get in? You know, there seems to be this sense of overwhelm when it comes to filling up our own cups, because you go, frick, I don't even have an hour like to send out my messages, let alone to listen to a whole podcast, or let alone to, you know, have a half an hour, 40-minute meditation. Like, you know, we are talking about pockets of life, growing this while you are a full-time parent, a full-time worker, a full-time partner, whatever it is. We have to be more conscious and more creative when it comes to how we are going to grow this business and grow ourselves at the same time, because it's so doable. When you look at everybody in Isagenix, there's about 5%, I'd say, of people. Sometimes it feels like it's 100%, everyone other than us, like as an individual at the time, who isn't in this full time. But the facts actually are only about 5% of people in Isagenix are full-time in Isagenix. Otherwise, everybody else is doing this in the pockets of their life. Absolute pockets of life. So when it comes to what are we doing, how are we flooding our brain with that brain food, and what are we doing to bring on new customers or new enrollments, we're talking pockets of life. And it really just comes down to realizing that you've got a moment and you know exactly what you need to do. That's why I'm getting these down on notes. So the third thing I want you to think about is, when it comes to what are you doing each week between calls, write down when your last sip and sample was, and write down when your next sip and sample is. And for some people, you might not even know, you couldn't even put your finger on a date as to when the last one was. And your next one might not yet exist, but this is your opportunity to plug it in. Now Donna's got her weekly ones up and running again and feels real good for it. There's a great flow going on in Donna's space, which is awesome. Sorry, excuse me for this annoying dog. Attention seeker. She's such an attention seeker. Because like I said, everybody's intention right now needs to be on their first PET, e.g. their personal enrollments, e.g. their new enrollments. We all need to be rebuilding right now. We all need to be just in the trenches, having conversations with people. Now, something that I would like us to reflect on in this space as well is how do we enroll? How do we enroll people into conversation with us? How do we enroll currently? How do we, how are we connecting with people? You know, just start to chuck down some things on that bit of paper. What am I currently doing to connect with people? What am I currently doing to engage with people? Have I got my list that we spoke about last week? Have I been going through my network and really just writing down who my people, who these people are that are in my life right now? So how are we enrolling people in conversation right now? Maybe some of you guys can chuck 1 or 2 of these ways up in the chat box so we can just stimulate some ideas with each other as well. But what are we doing currently to engage with people in our network or meet new people? Just chuck out a couple of those for me. Because next, what I want you to really think about is, in this way in which you're currently engaging with people or currently connecting with people, you don't have to chuck this one in the chat box. Just write down a big old yes or a big old no are you enjoying the way in which you're doing that right now? Does it bring you joy? Yeah? Is it bringing you excitement that you're connecting with this person in this particular way? So I've got a lot of notes here, by the way, which is why I keep turning down to the side, because this is just something that I really want to land so that we can navigate the way in which each of us individually need to navigate our businesses to move forwards, to be able to have a quicker, faster, deeper connection with an engaged person, with a person, with your person who is looking for a shift. Not any old Tom, Dick and Harry who you're trying to connect with and they don't reply, and you know, we all know those. So my question to you is, oh, actually, first of all, I just want to have a quick look in the chat box. Sorry, because I asked for a few. Love, love, love. Lots of new groups to meet people like me. Love it. Yay. Mardi Gras, meetups, local festivals, events. Beautiful. Branching out with new yoga classes, women's networking group, volunteering to do health walks. So awesome. Joining groups for exercise and socializing, coffee dates. Beautiful. Oh, that is just gorgeous. That is action stations, and going along to things that we enjoy personally brings so much joy when it comes to meeting people. So why I wanted you to write those things down was because it's either going to be brilliant, I've made a change and I'm enjoying this, or it's going to be like woof, I'm not enjoying this, and this is why, because this is how I'm meeting people, or how I'm not yet meeting people. So that's why I wanted you to get that onto paper, because you can both ways bring growth, right? Because one is, okay, great, I have taken action, I've made a change, and now I'm going down a new path, so I can really find the joy in connecting with people again. And the more like-minded people that you connect with, the way easier introducing them to Isagenix, or at least asking or seeing how engaged they are in looking for change, becomes cruisy and fun and exhilarating and exciting, because that is what this business should look like. It should be yeah, I can't even pronounce the word right now, but it should be fun. There should be joy in it. You know, I know that you guys love connecting with people, you're people's people. You know, you are people. You love being around people as much as you love your own space, because I know this, because I know you all individually and I know myself. I love being and feeding off of energy when I'm with my people, which you guys all know exactly what that means and feels like. You know, when you're not with your people and you're trying to force a connection anyway, and you manage to get their Facebook details or their Instagram details, but it just doesn't feel quite, you know, soul sister bros connecting like long lost friends. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel fun. In fact, it feels horrible. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we're only doing it because we're wanting down the track to introduce them to Isagenix. Am I right? And that just doesn't, that is not fun. And that's where I really have found in the past that this starts to get like I've got to do this. And people start to sense that off of you. You know, people start to get a whiff of, yeah, okay, I'll connect with you, but, you know, I might not reply to your messages, or you'll get the whole scene and not replied, and you're like, hello, 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 hello. And then, yeah, you know that feeling, right? And it's just not, it is actually not how this is meant to feel. And so I've been really stretching and chatting with Jen a lot around this, and just been trying to learn some new ways of what we can do around it. Because, you know, when you've got a person who is 9 or 10 out of 10 in wanting to change something in their life, we call them unicorns, right? That come into our life. We talk a little bit about something that's worked for us, and they go, sign me up, I'm ready, and boom, they're in. We go, oh, what the heck? Who are you? Where did you come from? What have you done with all the skeptics? Right? And I call them unicorns. But what I've been learning and relearning some skills of is actually how to not get a rejection or a no about Isagenix, but actually get a no, I'm not looking to change anything in my life right now, before I even have a chance to go deep into a deeper connection with them, which is actually amazing. It's time effective, and people that are looking for change and transformation are interested and reply to messages. Would you believe that? Amazing. People actually replying to messages, right? And it takes away the stress and the intensity around, okay, now I'm going to bring this up, and I might have just spent the last month or 6 weeks back and forwards in Messenger with them, that I've now found something to connect to their pain point. Now I'm going to bring up ISA, but they still might say no. And we know that 9 out of 10 people will say no. But we don't have to spend 4 to 6 weeks discovering if this person even needs Isagenix or might be interested in Isagenix to then still be told no. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm absolutely sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of spending a month to 6 weeks trying to build a relationship with someone that's just literally going to say, nah, I'm actually not interested in anything. I'm really happy with how I am and what I'm doing, thanks. Or, like Donna just said, they give you the big old piss off, right? And no one deserves that. No one deserves to feel like that. And I can't guarantee that you're not going to have someone say that, but that's their issue and not yours, and it makes receiving something like that a whole lot easier. So I wanted to share with you a little bit of a discovery process that I'm just learning right now, but Rory came over the other night and we started to implement for him. And we thought, okay, let's trial this with 10 people, at least 10 people who are active online and on Messenger right now. And we jumped into it and the conversations were flowing. And I said to Rory, do you normally get conversations that flow this quickly? And he said, nah. I'd have to send a couple of messages. Then I might wait a day or two for them to reply before I can send another message. And then they pretty much just ghost me when I bring up a health change or something like that. And I know every single one of you can relate to that. And so before I actually start to share some of the step-by-steps of that, what I want you to do is just jump back into your notebook and pen again. And I want you to actually now write down, who is your person? What do they do? Where do they go? What are they looking for? What is and we call that the niche. We call that the niche. So if I say, what's your niche? I want you to be able to immediately start to recognize it and know it. So your niche, you want to start to think really specific. So what's important to you? How specific? Literally as specific as you can make it. The age, where they hang out, what they do. If that's too hard for you in this moment, for anyone, because I know, Laura, you've watched a few like Audrey Moss's podcast and stuff like that. So I know you've done a little bit deeper. So you go deep as you can. Everybody else who might be just really thinking about this for the first time, what makes you you? What do you love? What do you value? What have you got going on in your life? What had you say yes to Isagenix? What had you been struggling with? Or what was it about your lifestyle that just was out of balance? Because when we actually start to uncover and start to dig into our personal niche a little bit more, it might seem a little bit scary to think, oh my gosh, are there enough people out there for me to only talk to my niche? But the funny thing is, you'll have more people reaching out to you. The reason I want you to start to discover your niche is because I want you to start posting on your social media more about yourself, more about you and your story and your life and what's important to you and what you value, instead of trying to post to everyone, instead of trying to engage with everyone, instead of trying to be the inspo for everyone, instead of saying, I just want to help everyone, which I've fallen into the trap of so many times, because my heart, of course I want to help everyone that wants this, but not everybody in the world believes that Isagenix can help them. Not everybody is on the same page as us. Like, we're all isolifers, right? We all love Isagenix. We've been to events. We've connected so deeply with each other and more people in the community. And we know that we adore and love Isagenix. But on the outsides, people aren't connecting with us for Isagenix. They're going to connect with us because of our story and that our life is like theirs in so many ways. Because when you post to someone, some days I've just gone, like, some days I could be cleansing and I'll get this moment of clarity and I'll just write a post. And on days usually when I'm not cleansing, I can never write a post quite like it, to be honest with you. It's weird. But you write a post and you have people write in the comments, oh my God, you're speaking to me, or I feel just like that. Or, you know how, for me, when Peter Kelly writes, I am like, holy shit, this is what's been in my head and in my heart. Like, she can write and engage me in a second. That's what PK can do for me. It might be someone else for you. I know, Donna, I tagged you in that post about that book that mother had written, right? And you were like, I felt that, I've ordered it. Boom. You felt so connected to her story and what she wrote. I didn't, but I thought of you because I know your story, right? So the more we can share ourselves from our own story and not keep trying to stretch ourselves to call the masses, rather call one person. Because Laura is not just Laura. There are so many Lauras. Donna is not just Donna. There are so many Donnas. You know, if you say, for example, there were only 100 out of a world, I don't even know the population of the world, it's ridiculous, but just say that there were only 100 other Donnas in the world. Well, you're the only Donna that's going to be able to call them in. You're the only Julia that's going to be able to engage with those other Julias, because there is no other Julia, right? I really hope this is starting to land a little bit, that let's just say there were only 100, and there's going to be so many more people. Just say there were only 100. If you could bring in 100 people that got you because you spoke to them, and then you've got their network and their network and their network and their network. See, the thing for me is the fear that I held around being too niche-y was that it wasn't going to engage with the amount of people that, what was this? Can't even. Oh. Is that, you know, was so edgy and a bit nervy around being too niche-y, is because I thought, oh my gosh, but there's not many people in the team that are midwives, or there's not many people in the team, you know, whatever. But in fact, the ripple effect that creates is when you start posting to your niche, you're going to have people say, hey, look, I'm not a bride-to-be that's trying to fit her wedding dress and feel phenomenal and glowing on her day. Like, Sophie, your niche right now might be, you know, calling all brides. I want to support brides. The fact that you're moving towards your wedding and you've been in your back-to-back 16-week challenges, you know, it might be that you change your Facebook caption to your bio to, I love helping brides-to-be feel sexy on their wedding day, just like I did. That could be your niche. You're calling in the bride-to-bees. You know, you start to unravel that, because when you then have other people reach out and say, hey, look, I'm not a bride-to-be, but I really want to feel sexy. I'm ready. I'm a 10 out of 10. Let's do this. You'll be like, that's where you start to pull in more people. So if I, you know, when I get my niche and myself more set up for that kind of posting, say, for example, my bio is, I want to help midwives nourish their health. I don't know the lingo I want to put into it yet, but I want to help other midwives fulfill their own health desires whilst helping other people. You know, let me show you how I did it, or I've done it for myself, or whatever my lingo might look like. Still clearly haven't perfected that, but that's the journey. That's the journey, you know. And then, okay, I'm going to start calling in more shift workers, more midwives, nurses, doctors, you know, that scene. Well, I know that energy is the number one thing that people are looking for alongside secondary income stream. So I know that there are going to be more people that reach out to me and go, hey, look, I'm not a midwife, but you know, I really need more energy. What is it you're doing for these midwives? So, you know, just because you're going to get nichey doesn't mean that you're not going to ever be able to help anyone else. Yeah, we getting that? So, yay, I love it. Just going to check the chat. Yeah, Janice, like you can absolutely dig into that exact same thing. Cast the first stone and the ripples will come. It's just everything that this business is. The ripple effects that are created are so huge. I really, really believe that it's so much bigger than we can actually comprehendibly understand. Some people that have shown up in my list who I've gone like, who the freaking heck is that I'm friends with? And I've gone search them, and I've discovered just this week, I've discovered 3 midwives, all around the ages of 24 to 27, who've all quit from burnout. Who's got that story? Me! And they've shown up. The universe they were there I was about 10, 15, I can't even tell you how many pages deep into writing people down in my notebook. And I come across these girls and I've just searched, who are they? Couldn't remember how on earth we'd connected, and boom, 3 of them, burnout midwives, have all left the profession. You can bet your ass you know what I did. I was like, coffee now. You know, so when we start to really, really put out there who we're looking for, they will show up. And they all said to me, I've been watching your journey. It's so inspiring. I definitely want to hear more about what you've been doing. So, you know, nothing that we've done up to this point has been wrong. We've been doing great things. We just can get so much smarter with this. So much smarter. So, sorry, I'm just going to read this. Yeah, that's so powerful. So powerful, and constantly upgrading our skills, constantly upgrading exactly what it is that we're in this profession to do, right? This is what Lloyd Ross calls so powerfully the 4-year career. The 4-year career. Now, my career, it took me 3 years to study at uni, and then a good 2 more before I was incredibly confident at what I was doing. And then even then I was at the beginning of my pay bracket. 5 years. 5 years. Yet with this profession, we're all getting paid whilst we actually haven't got a freaking clue really what we're doing. How amazing. And we're learning it, and we're staying the track, and we're learning it, and we're perfecting it, and we're polishing it, and we're trialing it. See, the best thing about this is that we can constantly be learning and expanding and growing as we go. But because we're impacting people that are like us, we've got an engaged audience, and we've got physically and emotionally transformative products. So people are going to be like loving on it and ordering their products anyway. So this is the best 4-year career. Really, nothing else is ever going to compare. So something then that I've learned, now you've started to write down a little bit about your niche, is a faster, more connective reach out that I've just been learning. And I'm actually about to by the end of this week, I'm going to make a decision which course I'm going for, but I'm actually going to launch myself into a mentorship program that is completely it's not run by Isagenix or anything like that, with a lady called Kim Claver, and she is a network marketing professional who actually started in the same company as Eric Worre back in the day. They both started in the same year as each other, and they both started network marketing together. And something that I love and respect about Kim Claver is that she actually enrolls into network marketing companies. She built to the top of 3 network marketing companies before she started her coaching. She actually goes and enrolls into companies to put her practices to the test. And if she finds that the way of the world has changed past her techniques, she then changes her methods of teaching. So Kim is actually enrolled in Isagenix, and she built a Crystal Executive in 90 days. She built to the top of our model in 90 freaking days. So she knows that her skills work, right? Who would love to get to executive in 90 days? Who would love to know how to create executives in 90 days? You know, wow, just wow. So she's got a coaching program, and for anyone that really feels connected and wanting to really perfect everything I'm really roughly talking about, I can share with you a bit of a coaching video around it, and then you guys can decide if you want to invest in this coaching as well, because I mean I'm almost dead set of which one I'm going for, but by the end of the week I'll be able to share with you which one. And I'm going all in for her coaching, because this week she taught me a method of being able to reach out to someone, ask them if they're interested in 3 things, and then from those 3 things, if that person is interested, they say yes. If they're not, they say no. They've not said no to Corinne. They've not said no to Isagenix. They've just said, actually, no, I'm not interested in my gut health, energy, or better eating. And I'm like, that's all good, because I could have spent 4 to 6 weeks trying to lure you into thinking that you might be, and you were going to say no to me anyway. So how that looks is this. You send out a message to someone that you either haven't spoken to in a long time, or somebody you haven't ever spoken to yet, and you literally just say their name, ? For example, Sophie, ? Nothing else comes out. Sophie, and Sophie goes, yeah. And you go, question for you. Missed the last 1 minute. What do you mean? Oh, from Signal. All good. I was just, so Steve, I was just updating everybody on this new method of reach out that we've been trialing this week, and the level of action and results that we've gotten from it so far. So Sophie, ? She goes, yeah. You saw my screenshot, yeah. Question for you. Say nothing else. And Sophie goes, shoot, or what is it? I'm like, yeah, what is it? You know, whatever someone would reply and say. And then you get to ask, do you have any interest or desire? This is your language that resonates with you, but it needs to be as close to this as you can. So do you have any interest in, and give them 3 things. Now, Kim's recommendation is that those 3 things that you put in that question are things that you have experienced, because you're talking to your people, right? So let's say that I'm messaging Sophie, the midwife, and I say, are you interested in better energy? Or have you got a desire to improve your energy? Have a better relationship with snacking? And sleep better. Right, they're 3 things that I have gotten so much from using Isagenix. If I sent that to a midwife, if she didn't say yes, she's lying. But let's just say she said, yes, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have an interest in that. I do have a desire to improve those areas. Yeah. And they reply, yeah. The next step there is just to get an engagement from them on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not interested and 10 being, oh my God, I'm all in. Where would you rate yourself for wanting to take action on those goals? So guys, just remember this is recording. If you can't remember that, you can go back in and just re-get it. And I'm going to go into Ignite and I'm going to post a few screenshot examples so you guys can see all of this. So they've said yes. Now you're still not going to give it all away. You're not going to tell them, oh my God, oh, amazing. I've been doing this nutritional cleansing program. I'm going to add you to the page, watch a video, blah, blah, blah. You're literally now, although they said yes, they've got an interest or desire, now you want to know, well, how badly do they want it? So they're going to respond with a number. They're going to give you a score on that 1 to 10 scale. And if their number is not an 8, 9, or 10, we know that they're not ready for Isagenix. We know that if we, and I think we could very convincingly still enroll them. We could definitely still enroll them, but we're not going to. The power in saying no, that someone isn't ready, is professionalism 101. It's just professionalism drooling out of your pores. So if someone responds and says that they're not an 8, 9, or a 10, we need to stay connected with them, but we need to let them know that say Sophie said, oh, I'm a 6, or they just respond 6. You go, oh, okay, babe, that's awesome, that's cool. This program probably isn't for you right now then, but when you feel that you're more of like a 9 or 10 out of 10 and you're ready for action, just jump back in my inbox because I might have something for you. Put them on your follow-up list, and that's it. And that person might say, oh, okay, cool, awesome, I will. Or it's in their head, oh, Corinne's got something. Sophie's thinking, okay, Corinne's got something for me. If my pain gets worse, what I'm experiencing, when I really get to a point of wanting to make a change, I know who I'm coming to. And you can just keep pouring love into they're on your follow-up list. So maybe once a month you pour a load of love hearts or comments on their Facebook page, all those little skills and things you can do outside. But let's just say then instead that Sophie came back to me and said, I'm a 9 or number 9. She sent me through number 9. Right, I start to get a little bit excited now because she's already told me she's got a desire in this area. Now she's telling me she's a 9 out of 10 in wanting to take action on this. I am so excited. I just literally want to tell her everything about Isagenix, but I've got to control myself because I still don't know if this is going to be for her. But guys, these kind of conversations I've been having, I've been chucking out about 20 messages a day, because to say someone's name and question for you and do you have a desire in takes a whole 10 freaking seconds. I'm not mastering a piece on I'm doing this or tell me all about your life, or how's the cat, how's the dog, how's your mum, how's your gran, all this stuff. I'm not saying don't have a relationship with people, but I'm just saying that if you really, really want to make more money and you want to enroll people and you want to cause transformation for people that are willing, I highly encourage you start using this method, because we all deserve that. We all deserve that. So let's say Sophie came back and said she was a 9. My next step is now going to be understanding a little bit around what she maybe is already doing or what she's done in the past that hasn't worked for her. So we're still engaging her and trying to understand a little bit about, so I'd respond and I'd say, oh, awesome. Okay, cool. So this is something you're still working on then, right? ? Send that. So this is something you're still working on then, right? So get an engagement again from Sophie. She'll either say, no, to be honest, I've given up. And you'll go, oh, cool, I want to know what she's done. Or she's going to say, yeah, and I'm getting nowhere. So otherwise she wouldn't be telling you she's a 9 out of 10. You now start to just get a little bit more understanding as to what journey that person's been on. So then you can ask a question, because most of the time you're in an active chat. So you can be toing and froing these and just getting straight back answers. So now you can start to say, well, what is it you've been doing? What have you tried? What have you been doing? And just start to get some understanding as to what exactly Sophie might say. Oh, I did this Isagenix. I started it, but there was no one to support me. Or she might say something like, well, you know, I've been trying Jenny Craig, or I've been trying just using essential oil capsules or something like that, and I'm just not getting anywhere. I'm just not getting ahead. You go, okay, cool. Well, I might have something for you. And then use your if I were you. That's where we're going to bring in our Eric Worre. If I were you. Because if I could share a bit about what I've done, would you jump on a call with me? Or if I sent you a video to check out a little bit more about what I've been doing, would you check it out today? Give them a time. Would you be able to check it out today? Then you see you've started to get a little bit more movement, because if someone straight away says, no, I've not got any desire in that, beautiful. The thing that I have had to go back to in my messages, if someone says, no, I don't have a desire in it, and I'll share all of these as well. And what I'll do is I'll take screenshots and I'll put them up in the Ignite page, and I'll say, this is the examples of people that have said no. This is the example that people have said yes. These are the examples that people have said yes, but they're not a 9 or 10, and so on and so forth. So you can just start to read. Now, this is all experimenting, but you know, I want it to be better. I want it to be a better experience to everyone, because this is so fun. This is so fun. You start to get the excitement and joy, and it gives you more time. So you can go along to your networking events. You can go along to the beach cleanups. You can go along to the park, because you're not sitting there going, oh, I haven't done my messaging, and messages have been stretched out. So yeah, when it gets to the point of somebody saying that no, they haven't got a desire in that, that's when you're going to go in there for referrals, Jules. Like you said, that's where you go for your referrals, right? So this is the first point. So what I've said to people that have said no is I've said that no worries, absolutely fine, babe. If you know anybody who might be looking for a simple health system to help with that above, with those 3 things above, please could you send them my way or connect me with them, because I might have something for them. And you know what everyone has replied? They've said, absolutely, I'll definitely do that. So whenever I've seemed to ask for referrals in the past, people have just been like, no, I don't know anyone. And I'm like, damn, how do you get these referrals, man? Because I'm not getting them. Whereas this time, that person has not felt like I've been trying to get them into Isagenix and then ask for a referral. Instead, people have gone, Corinne's literally just asked me if I'm into gut health and energy, and I'm not. So that's fine. But if I know anyone that is, I'll send them down her way, because she's quite excited about something and I don't really know what it is. But I'm now going to watch her page and see what she gets up to. So you see how much more juicy this is? I've literally been learning this the last 5 or 6 days, and you know, I haven't had any enrollments out of this yet, guys. So this is still all a practice. But if we can all start to get into this practice together, and I really, as well, Soph, I really feel that that's going to be massive for you guys in the UK, because you need to cut through all that. People in the UK are just crap at replying on Messenger. Like, you're going to get to sift through that crap a whole lot quicker and actually start to really connect with people. There are so many people, guys. We know there are so many people looking for health solutions out there, and it is our job to get to them quicker, because they are going to find Isagenix, and those that want it are going to enroll. And we just need to get there first. Right? We actually need to start thinking about this like there are a lot of people out there that are starting to share Isagenix, and there are a lot of people out there getting amazing results. We need to reach people faster and come to know if they have a desire or a drive or something that they want to shift in their life. Because if they do, we know we've got a solution. Are they looking for it? Does this sound just a little bit more exciting than what you've currently been doing and how you've been doing it? Yeah, so good. So good. So what I want to do is just let you guys get into some practice. We've got 10 minutes. Why don't you pull up your messenger? Pull up. I want you to send out like 5 of those before we jump off this call, and pick 5 people who are hot on your heart, or people you've been chatting away to in the way that you already have been, who you feel would really relate to you. Who are your people? Pull up 5 of them. Pull up 5 of those people right now, and flick them their name and a question mark. I dare ya. So different. If anyone gets an immediate reply, chuck it in the chat. Oh my God, they said yes. Oh, Rory's jumped off. He's obviously got work early. I was going to get him to share. He was cacking it when I made him do this on Friday, but then he literally was just frothing at the amount. Well, we've had 3-way calls off the back of it already this weekend. It's great. So choose 5 people and send them their name and a question mark. It's juicy, guys. It feels weird as heck, but it is so juicy. Nearly did it to a nicer person. You just have to say, thinking of you, love you, bye.
Okay, just got a quick question mark straight back. So then what do I send?
Brilliant. Question for you, question mark.
Okay.
Love it. Love it, Donna. So good. So good. I'm just pulling up my people now. I've literally just gone to my active list, guys, and I'm picking people off there. They reply straight away.
So she said, okay.
Great. So now you want to write, do you have any interest or do you have any desire in?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever one feels better for you. And then put 3 things in there. It might be weight loss, cleansing, and energy.
Okay.
Koza,
yeah.
Not to overwhelm the group, but the screenshots that I was thinking of were your ones when you were like, do you have any interest in, I don't remember, the financially angled ones that you did in that group, and like Anna was replying, I frothed on that whole thing, it was the best.
Yeah.
When would you use, when
do you go down that avenue?
See, yes.
Yeah. So something that Kim was saying was that, I'm sorry, I'm just getting feedback. I'll mute you for a second, Laura. What Kim is hot on is that we focus directly on product until we're enrolling more people on product so that we can teach people how to enroll for product. That then gets people building a team and actually making a residual income, making an income, so that then they can start to branch out to finding other people who might be interested in making an income. So that guy, for example, that example you're talking of, that guy I met on an aeroplane, was the whole conversation I ever had with him was about the opportunity. And he's entrepreneurial. He's lived in so many countries around the world setting up businesses. So if I'd asked him if he was interested in gut health, energy, and whatever, you probably would have just bypassed to a no. So if you have got someone who you've been connecting with, who is entrepreneurial, who is looking for a side hustle, then yeah, go for it. Ask that. But 9.9 times out of 10, it's focus on going all in with the health shifts that you've had, because ultimately we're going to be talking about the opportunity anyway. Yeah, so cool. Anyone done their 5? Jules, awesome. God, all these ISA people online, how annoying. All right, 5 messages sent, a couple of replies, juicy, juicy. 1 minute to get your 5 name and a question mark out. How fun is it to be in action? So guys, what you can do is you can start to get some real good conversations going. That is IPA. Chit chat, asking about, you know, your cat, your dog, your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, how was your weekend, is not IPA. Sick, love it. The conversations are a flow. So guys, you know, you've got group chats to reach out into as what screenshot, what should I say? And like we can just get stuck into some of these replies until we've really got it flowing. For those of you, once you've sent those 5 out, see how you feel. Maybe go for 10. See what kind of chit chat you've got coming back. And if you're like, yeah, okay, I see where this is going a little bit, I want you to private message me, because I'm going to add you to a page where you can watch the full Kim Klaver live, so you can start to really understand more depth behind it. And then what I highly suggest you do is request to be in her in-between page, which is called something like, oh gosh, can't remember. I'm going to have about 10,000 notifications in it though. Make them come to me or something. Yeah, make them come to me, which is her in-between page. And in there you can start to explore whether you want to do some of her coaching, and really invest in moving this forwards productively, and legitimately like turning your business around. So yeah, send out 10, see how they feel, look at some of the responses you're getting. Private message me. I can add you to Jen Schultz's page so you can watch the call, and then from there you can make your own decision around where you want to shift and move with it, right? Yeah, so I'm going to draw this call to the end, just end the recording there.